Farms in deep red Texas are shut down, and Donald Trump is the reason. Now, as you know, Donald Trump has shifted ICE from focusing on criminal immigrants to going after easier targets such as job sites to pump his numbers up. But farms are hurting because of this, as many of their workers are either being deported or not showing up for fear of being caught up in these raids. And because of this, they're essentially shut down and no work can be done. Just take a listen to one farmer.
3 weeks, it started to slow, but this last week or so has been huge. That's when it's like zero people wanting to come out and
yeah, zero people going to work the farms. And while yes, these farmers are in the find out phase, we're all going to be in it, because they're talking that our food supply is going to be shut down or have major interruptions. And it's not just Texas, it's California and Washington. We are finding out that yes, immigrants do help the American economy. Immigrants are part of the American fabric. We just didn't realize it till it was too late.
All right, MAGA, get out there. Where you at? You got your jobs back. You got your jobs that were taken from you. Get out there. Get out there and start working. Get to work. America first. Get out there. 100% haven't shown up to work due to immigration raids, Texas farmer says. America's migrant workers are terrified to work, but unable to stay home. So get out there, MAGA. You got these jobs back. You took them back, you voted, you got your guy in there to get rid of all of those migrant workers. So get out there and start working. But for real, I want to shout out to the undocumented migrant workers, as they were deemed essential in 2020. They stepped up when this nation needed them most. They have my utmost respect. They should see a pathway to citizenship. Period. They were deemed essential workers, risking their lives in one of the most hazardous jobs in the entire U.S. labor market. They have my full respect. Thank you for your service and your contribution to this country.
So why are those people who were saying he's not going to come for good people, he's going to come for bad people, he only promised to deport all bad people and not good people? Now every one of you is suffering it, including the farmers who voted massively for him are reaping the fruit of the labor. You remember when I told you that your vote is a fruit? Like you got to harvest what you sowed? Yeah, this is it. This is farmers actually reaping what they sow. And right now it's happening in Texas. You guys know that this is a deep red state and they voted massively for the orange man. And now that it's like this, they are crying out because a lot of them are about to lose their farms because their workers refuse to show up for work because of ICE raids. Well, I'm just going to let these videos roll, then I'll come back with the commentary. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Go ahead and subscribe if you have not. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that more people can see it. And credit to all creators on this video. So let's go watch, then I'll come back with the commentary.
So some bad news for U.S. agriculture. Farms in Texas are shutting down at an increasing rate. This is mainly due to the fact that the workforce has literally vanished 100% overnight in some cases. Of course, the immigration raids by Donald Trump's ICE department is causing this, and it's leading to complications for the business. And in many cases, these businesses are actually shutting down. The issue with this, of course, is that the supply chains will be affected. Prices will be increased as food scarcity increases as well. So folks, let me know what you think about this story. The source for this is MSN. My name is Nick. Let me know what you think about this in the comments.
News out of Texas, and if this is happening in Texas, this is happening elsewhere. I'll put the link to the article in the description. Multiple farms are shutting down due to lack of workers because the entire workforce has basically fled and is in hiding and not showing up for work. Crops are being left to die in the Texas heat. Livestock is being untended to, unwatered, and unfed. There's just no one to do the work. So this is going to lead to potential food shortages because I'm sure this is happening across the country. Most farm workers are questionably documented. No one else is willing to do the work. This is going to lead to shortages, and inflation is going to go back up as we're going to have to import food from outside.
Texas is continuing the F around and find out stage. Guess what just hit zero before Donald Trump's approval rating? Right there. Farm labor attendants, 0. Entire fields, whole crews are ghosting fields, leaving fruits and vegetables to rot because the Donald Trump administration is too busy playing cat and mouse with people who just want to feed America. To the MAGA people who are saying that immigrants are taking your job, this right here is your opportunity. Pick yourselves up by the bootstraps, get those buckets, and pick those strawberries. No more hiding behind those welfare checks that are padded behind blue state dollars. You wanted the raids, you got them. Now get in those fields and pick those fruits and vegetables before you watch the produce aisle turn to a luxury boutique section. Chop, chop, MAGA. And that's it.
Yeah, MAGA, this is just the opportunity you have been waiting for. Every one of you were on the internet crying about how immigrants have been taking your job and all that. I think you got your job back because now immigrants are gone. They have refused to show up for work, and these farmers need workers. Okay, you guys keep crying about, oh, they're taking our American jobs. It is time for you to go pick up your job where you left it. Girl, go pick up those jobs, okay? If you keep crying that immigrants are taking your job and you're doing nothing about it, then you are wrong. This is high time for you to go pick up your job. There are plenty of jobs right now available. You know how they promise to give you back your American job? I guess this is it. This is one of it, right? And yes, you don't want to allow food shortage to come into the state, okay, or into the country, because some of you were crying about cheaper eggs, cheaper groceries, cheaper everything. So right now is the best time for you to pick up those jobs, okay?
It's Joe from Georgia, so this is news out of Texas. But folks, these are alarm bells ringing for the entire United States, and our government is not listening. Overnight, multiple farms in the state of Texas completely shut down. And the reason for this shutdown was because they have lost almost 100% of their workforce. Now, we know this is the result of the immigration raids and stricter enforcement, but the ripple effect is going to be felt all the way across this country. Now, you've got crops that are rotting in the fields. You have livestock that is not being attended to at all. And that takes a lot of personnel. And we're talking, so now we're getting every area of food to include meat. And the communities that surround these farms, those businesses and those people who depend on the income from these farms, it's creating disasters for small communities in Texas. Now, this is not stopping at Texas farms. This is going to end up all the way across America, especially in the breadbasket, the middle of the nation, because they have tons of immigrant help. But folks, the alarm bells are ringing. Your food on your plate is being affected. So you got to think about it. It won't be soon until either prices go ridiculously high or you just won't have any food to buy.
I need to know if you saw a buried report that Texas overnight has nobody working their fields. They ramped up their ice raids, which Florida and Texas have been doing for months. This is not new, but their farms right now, nobody has shown up to work. They have animals in danger of dying, of getting sick because they don't have the workforce. And I saw another creator about 2 weeks ago say this is why they just ramped it up in California, especially in California, because they're trying to crash our economy, which is apparent. It's part of Project 2025. If everybody's hungry, if everybody's poor, if everybody's starving, we're easier to control. So, good luck.
Be truthful to yourself. If you are those immigrants who work in those farms, even if they're not deported, even if you have not seen ICE, they've not carried you to your country, will you find yourself in those farms? You won't, right? So place yourself on your shoes and see how it hurts. This is exactly what happens when you F around and find out. Those farmers F'd around. Now they are finding out because they voted against their own interests, knowing fully well that they have more of immigrants working on their farms, working for them, taking all those labor, no matter the pay, they don't mind, right? They take them, work on those farms, and still deliver everything that they need. The farm took the farm like theirs, yet they went to the polling unit and they voted against those immigrants. And now that those immigrants are gone, some of them have been deported, some of them in the custody, detained, and some of them you already know, some will hide and not come out, show up for any reason because they do not want to be picked up by ICE. Some of them might be planning to even self-deport themselves because it's either better, let's say it's better to deport yourself than getting picked up by ICE, kept in an ICE custody for only God knows how long before you are able to go back to your country. So, for every one of you coming on the internet crying about how you're losing your farm and how you have lost your farm, no, baby, you don't have to cry because you directly voted for this. This was what you wanted. You wanted to be the one in charge of all the jobs because you keep crying about how American jobs have been taken away by the immigrants and all that. And now that those immigrants are gone, these jobs are left for you to do because this was majorly the jobs those immigrants were doing. When they cannot afford to get their documentation and needed money to get settled in and also for their documentation, they decide to pick up these farm jobs because you won't tell me that if you are fully documented, you want to go work in farms. There are other jobs to do, right? Farmers are great, right? But they're just other jobs to do because of the stress involved in farming, right? That so much, there money in agriculture, there is money in agriculture, but there is so much stress involved in it. So if you feel that American immigrants has been taking your job and those people right now are scared about getting deported or probably back to base, trust me, it is time for MAGAs to go work in those farms because this was exactly what they wanted. Now, come to think about it, some of you voted for cheaper groceries. How are you going to manage for the next few years? How are you going to get cheaper groceries when farmers have shut down because they have no laborers? They have nobody working on their farms. How then are you going to get cheaper groceries? I thought the only way to do this was to get the farmers working. Instead of you importing those goods, you work them out in the US, you farm them in the US, you produce them in the US instead of importing. But right now that farmers are no longer able to get those people to work on those farms, you all are not even ready to pick up those jobs, then trust me, there might be famine in the land, right? I feel so bad for this, right? If it eventually happen, I hope it doesn't, right? But you guys, if they're shutting down, there might just be food shortage, right? If farmers have to shut down, you might not be able to have those cheaper groceries that you dreamt of. You might not be able to buy cheaper eggs. You might not be able to buy cheaper meat because farmers do not have people to tender to all their needs. Those crops will be wasting, right? Those every other thing that they need will just go into waste. So you guys, MAGAs, it's time to go work. There is plenty of American jobs right now. Well done. You did this, you got this, right? Instead of wailing on the internet, it's time to everybody to wake up. That's what everybody has been telling you all along. Anyway, guys, I would love to hear your thoughts about today's video and what is happening to Texas farmers who are, should I say, deep red fellows, right? You know who they voted for. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Please go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that more people can see it. Credit to all creators on this video. So let's go. And I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up, share, and also drop your thoughts in the comment section. See you next time, guys. Bye.